Bitcoin saw a very bullish week and we bounced from this support level around the $64,000. We are now trading above the $68,000 and that is a beautiful thing to wake up to. In this video I will update you about Bitcoin and what we can expect for the coming days. This weekend Donald Trump is going to speak at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. This could also have a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin during the weekend. I'm seeing a lot of interesting formations and I will also speak about Vechain and Solana, but I will talk about them later in this video. So watch this video all the way to the end, like this video, and let's dive right into the charts. As I said, Bitcoin had a very bullish week and we broke this huge downtrend a couple weeks ago and we are now in this beautiful uptrend. And we see this interesting support and resistance area for Bitcoin unfolding on the 4-hour chart. And we saw multiple touch points in the past as support. We flipped it into resistance and then we broke it to the top side again, returned it to support, and we came back down and retested it as support once again. And now we are seeing a very bullish uptrend and a separation of this support line. So this means that this support area was very strong and that we're coming back up now. So I expect that Bitcoin can maybe continue the bullish uptrend and eventually we want to see a higher high getting formed because we saw a high here and now we want to see a new high getting formed, and after that we want to see a higher low and then we can confirm the bullish continuation. So this is looking very bullish for Bitcoin actually on the 4-hour time frame. And if we have a look on the daily time frame, we can see Bitcoin was at this beautiful support area. We had multiple touch points in the past as resistance and support. And yeah, we flipped it into support again. So that is very beautiful to see. And now we can maybe see more continuation to the top side, as I'm saying. And we can also see this downward sloping resistance line for Bitcoin unfolding on the daily time frame. We can see multiple touch points in the past as resistance. And this will be the first big resistance for Bitcoin on the daily time frame to break for Bitcoin. So eventually we want to see Bitcoin reaching this resistance area and that will be around the $69,500. So if Bitcoin can come back to this level, maybe force a breakout, retest this previous resistance as support and then come further back up. And this will be a very bullish continuation of the price for Bitcoin. So maybe this weekend we can already see this happening, and of course we want to see this in the short term happening because then we can create more bullish price action and then we can also aim for new all-time highs. So yeah, I expect that Bitcoin maybe see this scenario playing out, so this will be the bullish scenario, but we can also of course see the bearish scenario play out, and that will be that we're going to see a rejection from this point because the resistance is a little bit too strong, and then we need to aim for lower levels because we can then see a rejection and then come further back down. This is also a very possible scenario, but eventually we're still now in this uptrend. So I expect that Bitcoin is going to maybe force a break to the top side already, or maybe see a rejection, a retest again, and then come further back up. And yeah, either way, I'm expecting that we're going to see all-time highs in August. And let me know in the comments when you think in which month of 2024 Bitcoin is going to create a new all-time high. And yesterday on Friday we saw another interesting inflow of the Bitcoin ETFs. We saw an inflow of 52 million almost. We can see BlackRock was buying again. And also the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF was buying again. So this is a very beautiful thing to see. And we can actually only see black numbers, so that is positive for the Bitcoin ETF. We saw 1 day of net outflow. So yeah, this is looking very good. And we can see an exponential move for the Bitcoin total cumulative inflow. And that's exactly what we want to see. But if we look at the Ethereum ETF, we can see another day of negative outflow. Yesterday we saw an outflow of 163 million almost. So that is also because the Grayscale Ethereum ETF is still selling. You can see BlackRock is buying like crazy. Also the Fidelity Ethereum ETF is also buying in heavily. So they are just accumulating more Ethereum. And of course Grayscale is selling off their Ethereum because they have a high fee here. And they are all transferring it to this Ethereum ETF. So once Grayscale is done selling their portion, I expect that the price of Ethereum will come back further up. But for now we have to keep in mind that we can see a lot of Ethereum being loading off at the markets. On the daily time frame we can see Bitcoin broke out of this huge triangle. We saw multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and also multiple touch points on the downside as support. And 2 weeks ago we broke out beautifully out of this triangle to the top side, and we are seeing a big separation and a beautiful breakout. And eventually the top side of this formation will be the breakout target, and it will also be confluent with the $72,000. and that of course will also be confluent with a lot of resistance on the top side here. So I expect maybe that Bitcoin is going to reach this breakout target eventually. So from this point it is a make or break point. So we are either going to see a break to the top side, a retest of this for a previous resistance to turn it into support and then come further back up, or we're going to reach this breakout target of $72,000 and maybe see a rejection again from this level. And as I was saying, eventually I would think Bitcoin will still create more bullish momentum to the top side, because on the higher time frame we are in an uptrend, and I guess the trend will still go up in the coming months. And of course I've been talking about this chart for a lot of times now, and as we can see we bounce from this beautiful support level I've been talking about. We can see multiple touch points in the past as support and resistance, and this was a very interesting place to buy more Bitcoin. And yeah, we're now breaking a little bit above the next big resistance of the $67,000. But yeah, it's still the weekend of course. But eventually I want to see a big break from this level, a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support, and then we can maybe aim for higher levels. Yeah, and the big next resistance of course is around the $72,000, and this will be confluent with the biggest resistance on the top side. And if we break this resistance, then we can aim for new all-time highs, and that will have a very bullish beginning of the bull cycle. So I expect that, yeah, this will all happen maybe in the coming month. Yeah, still I expect that Bitcoin is going to create new all-time highs in August. And later today, President Donald Trump will speak at Nashville at the Bitcoin conference, and this could also have a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin, of course. He will speak later today on Saturday. So yeah, just like 2 weeks ago, this could have a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin. Just like the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, it could have a very bullish price effect on the price of Bitcoin, because at this point we saw the assassination attempt and we shoot back up. And maybe we can see another Trump pump later this weekend, but we have to be a little bit patient, and of course it's still the weekend, so don't expect a little bit too much volatility. But yeah, we can see maybe later today that Bitcoin is going to have a massive pump after Donald Trump is going to speak about Bitcoin. And lately I've been talking about Solana a lot. Solana broke out of this formation, and I've been talking about Solana on my channels a lot. We can see I was expecting a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support and then maybe continue the uptrend, because we saw a big breakout, and I expected that we're coming back to this resistance to turn it into support, and yeah, that's exactly what we did. So Solana broke out, retested previous resistance as support, and then come further back up, and this was a perfect trade to make. I've been warning you about this trade. And from the point of breakout, you could already have made an interesting gain of almost 9%. So that is insane, of course. And this kind of trades, yeah, I am always sharing on my channel. So you can always follow my trades, of course. But I expect that you're doing your own due diligence. And we can see multiple touch points in the past as resistance. Yeah, and eventually we broke it. We retested this as support, and now we come further back up. So I expect that the breakout target for Solana will be around the top side of the formation, which will be above the $200. So yeah, from the point where we are now, it's still an interesting gain to make. But yeah, we can see this beautiful formation was occurring on the daily time frame for Solana, and eventually we broke it to the top side. We're now retesting it as support, and we see continuation of the bullish price action. So this is very bullish to see for Solana. Another altcoin I've been talking about a lot is Vechain. Vechain also broke to the top side, as we can see here. I was talking about Vechain, and I expected that we're going to see the previous resistance getting turned into support, and that will be a very healthy retest for Vechain. And yeah, we broke to the top side, and I was expecting a retest of this resistance to turn it into support, and that's exactly what we did. If we have a look here, we can see a beautiful break out of this falling wedge formation for Vechain. We came back to this support area on the lower side, so this was a little bit of a double support, because we saw a support from the falling wedge and also support on the downside as horizontal support. We bounced from this support, we came back, retested this resistance as support, and now we come further back up. So I expect that Vechain is going to see more upside potential from here, and eventually the top side of this formation will be the breakout target, and it will be complemented with the 5 cents. So from the point of breakout, this could be a very interesting gain to make for around 85%. So yeah, this could be also a very interesting trade to make, and yeah, good luck if you are going to trade this one. But yeah, the perfect entry was of course at this retest, and it was hit perfectly. So yeah, congratulations if you got into this trade, and now maybe you can take some profits, or you can let it run until we are at the breakout target for Vechain. So let me know in the comments what you think about Vechain, and if you're trading this kind of breakouts. So I hope you find this video useful. Give this video a like and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.